Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Jacobo from Plaintables camp. Now, from the SNAP benefits the majority of us are not on that, so it's we got to do research to find out specifics. But if you're on it, I'm sure you're an expert. But us that are not on it, we have to actually do research and figure it out. So the changes to people with dependents, it went from 18 to 14 from what I researched. All right, so you were available for SNAP benefits until your child was 18, and now it's 14. And there may be some exceptions based upon other requirements that you may meet for it. But it went from 18, the child, to 14. So you may be removed from it if your child is older than 14. But if your child is younger than 14, it doesn't affect you. Now you keep the same, I believe the same rules still apply with the working and hours you at work or not working at all. All right, so that's with dependents. All right. So this is SNAP benefits expire for millions amid government shutdown. So they're more so focusing on the government shutdown than, that's from what I'm saying anyway, than, the Trump administration changing the requirements. So yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 years, that is significant. So you can still apply the Deuteronomy 32 if you were actually depending on, food, like food stamps. And the only requirements you met were, I guess you were a single mother and you use those benefits, and your child is 16, 17 years old, still your responsibility. And yeah, you would lament for that, however much it would be, 200, 400, 500, I don't know. So yeah, that would be direct prophecy. All right. Even if it's only a few years difference. Now it would be even worse if it was, not at all. Because you went from 18, you would be eligible from 18. Now Trump reduced it to 14. So now if he just gets rid of it, then yeah. So the point is that the prophecy is gradually coming in. All right. So when it comes to that specific precept. Isaiah the 32nd chapter. All right, but if you fall within that, you still qualify. So it reaches full fruition only if your child is over 14 years old. All right, that specific prophecy. So I'm going to read that prophecy very quickly. I think I have it right there. Isaiah 32:9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women, for the venture shall fail and the gathering shall not come." So we haven't reached the full impact of this precept. Nowhere near it. Okay, you have a child. At most, you're going to have different, depending on where you are in your life, in your child's life. You're going to have a child that's either 17, or you might have a child that's 4. You have a child that's 4. This prophecy doesn't affect you at all. All right. Now in the future, we believe they're going to tie it. Well, it definitely is. The implantable microchip. It's going to be tied to that. Now, if you take the chip, then you'll get your benefits. But then again, we're dealing with Satan. He may be running experiments on mass deletion, and they may want to do a calling, all right, which is mass deletion. All right. And they may restrict your benefits for a certain period of time. All right. Now again, if Esau keeps his word on that, if you take the implantable microchip, then you'll get your benefits. All right. So there's going to be some catastrophe in which this prophecy will come to full fruition. All right. It says, because it says it here. "Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear." This is talking about the Israelite woman. Many, it's not talking about every woman on earth. All right. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Now, things that affect, the women of our nation is obviously going to affect women of the other nation also. And ultimately, it's going to be, money is going to be tied to the implantable microchip, Revelation 13:15 on down. All right. It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. All right, because something's going to happen where they're going to take it away. All right, and what's supposed to happen is the buying and selling is supposed to be tied to the implantable microchip, but how long that's going to be, when the average person will be able to access that, whether you're actually able to access it or not, we don't know. Because just because the implantable microchip is available don't mean you're going to be able to have access to, healthcare and food. So, but that is the medium of exchange for, goods and services. It's going to be the implantable microchip, and it's going to be in the right hand. Right, or the left, or anywhere in your body, but preferably somewhere in the arms, from the hands to the arms, where we at? This is the video I want to show. So let's focus more so on the government shutdown. See, the government shutdown, that's all-encompassing. All right, that's beyond, the tighter restrictions. So from 18 to 14, wow, okay. But again, about 4 years, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, about 4 years. It's significant if you're still responsible for your child. So that is a serious thing. All right. So this is CBS News. SNAP benefits expire for millions amid shutdown. So I did a search on the states. In most states, the benefits did not go out.
The program assists some 42 million people, 1 in every 8 Americans. The Department of Agriculture was set to run out of funds for SNAP.
Yeah, and then mostly so-called white people, Edomites. All right. And you got some, chocolate on the inside or brown on the inside, but just bleached vanilla on the outside. But the main recipients of the benefits for welfare by number are so-called Edomites. All right.
Day, which led to a surge at many local food banks. But a pair of court rulings yesterday appear to be keeping those benefits in place, ordering the Trump administration to continue the funding. Willie James Inman is traveling with the president in Florida and joins us with more. Willie, good morning.
Dana, good morning to you. Today marks just over 1 month since the start of the government shutdown, and now millions of Americans are feeling the impacts of the political stalemate.
This weekend, 2 federal judges ruling the Trump administration must use emergency funds to pay out some SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. President Trump responding, saying,
listen to the language they're using. So I did do a search, and it gave me a list of states that received it, and that's because they use emergency funds. States were doing that, emergency funds. Now, what I'm hearing here is, they're being ordered for some benefits to go out, so use emergency funds. So is the Trump administration initiating that, or are states initiating that? What I read before, states were individually initiating emergency funds.
He's instructed administration lawyers to ask the court to clarify how to legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. The president adding if he gets the appropriate direction from the courts, it would be his, quote, honor to fund the program.
When you talk about SNAP, you're talking about largely Democrats, but I'm president. I want to help everybody.
The Secretary of...
Largely Democrats. I mean, where the hell do you get that from? No, Democrats and Republicans are mainly Edomites anyway. But,
Agriculture claims the government cannot redirect roughly $5 billion in emergency funds.
But it is only allowed to flow if the underlying program is funded. It's called a contingency fund. And by law, contingency fund can only flow when the underlying fund is flowing.
Federal support for benefits expires on Saturday amid the ongoing government shutdown, and it's unclear when SNAP recipients will receive assistance. Jessica Levinson.
That doesn't make any damn sense. What the hell she just said? Maybe I missed something.
I'm president. I want to help everybody.
The Secretary of Agriculture claims the government cannot redirect roughly $5 billion in emergency funds.
But it is only allowed to flow if the
By law.
underlying program is funded. It's called a contingency fund. And by law, contingency fund can only flow when the underlying fund is flowing.
So according to law, according to what she's saying, you can't have benefits suspended or non-existent for emergency funds to actually flow. So the regular program has to be in fruition, like continuing, active, and then if that's not enough, then you use emergency funds, is what she's saying. By law, what she said. So
support for benefits expires on Saturday amid the ongoing government shutdown.
This video is from 2 days ago.
When SNAP recipients will
Probably
receive
Sunday.
assistance. Jessica Levinson is a CBS News legal contributor.
But in both cases, we have judges either granting or leaning towards granting temporary restraining orders to force the Trump administration to pay people SNAP benefits.
With no apparent end to the shutdown in sight.
Okay.
People come to us.
Commercials. You got to pay for to do these videos, so you got to add commercials.
Okay, so the government shutdown as it stands right now, 31 days, 17 hours into this thing. That means we're technically in the 32nd day of the shutdown. Also, SNAP restrictions. That's something we've been discussing all week. Now Politico has this. Nearly 42 million Americans have lost their food stamp benefits. Standing by is Aaron Pellish. He's a reporter with Politico. He's been tracking this. This has been such a big talker all week, the SNAP angle to this shutdown. Everybody was talking about the beginning of November. It's November 1st. What do we need to know today?
Yeah, you're right, Austin. Everyone was looking at November 1st as this key checkpoint on when and to see if both parties are going to be able to solve this shutdown, barreling toward the longest U.S. government shutdown in history. My colleagues Grace Yarrow and Marcia Brown reported that story you just brought up. 42 million Americans losing their food stamp benefits today. That's 1 in 8 Americans. And there's really two ways that this can get solved. One is through the courts. There's a couple federal lawsuits. 2 federal judges have ruled the administration must use emergency funds to pay for the food aid program. It's possible that the Trump administration will comply with that order. President Trump posted on social media last night that he is open to complying with that order pending the right judicial guidance. But even if that takes place, it still could take days and weeks for people to get those benefits. Obviously, we're coming up to Thanksgiving where, that's a really critical issue for people.
Okay, you get the point. So not everybody's going to be affected. And, 42 million Americans is a lot of people. All right. And so you're being affected. I just misspoke. If you're depending on the SNAP and the welfare, you're being hit from 2 angles, depending on how old your child is, what the age is of your child. The government shutdown that's all encompassing. That's more serious than, Trump administration changing the requirements for benefits. All right. So they both can affect you, but the government shutdown is more so in hierarchy, is higher up the hierarchy that can affect more people, the actual government shutdown. So it says rise up. It's look at that word rise up, and then we'll shut it down. Was that Isaiah 32 around 9? Isaiah 32. 3219. We'll look up rise up, you women. We got Quam to arise. Establish oneself. To be raised up. Yeah, to be raised up from dependence on the system. All right. Raise up from being strong, depending on the system. And it says, because we look up ease. No, hold on. Let's look up that word. Ease. Careless. Here we go. Careless. We got Sha'na or Sha'na. Sha'nan or Sha'nan. All right. We got arrogance, security, pride, arrogance. Careless, wanton, arrogant, secure. So rise up from that state of being secure, depending on the gathering that the government's giving you. So this is a warning. And then get your shit together before it's too late. All right. Come up with a contingency plan. And don't depend on the government. All right, we'll leave it there. All right. Hope you had a fight. Shalom.